All right, guys, so you probably never heard of Lugansk, Ukraine, but it's a place you definitely should have heard of by now and should visit if you ever get a chance to. This is my first visit to Lugansk, Ukraine. This is only AFA's second trip to Lugansk, Ukraine. And what you're seeing behind me is just a small part of our social, which is just underway. We're now about 20 minutes into it. Girls have just kind of come into the room, and we've got a long line of ladies that are out there that are making their way in. But as of right now, we've got ladies that are just hanging out, getting a little bit of the champagne and the hors d'oeuvres and such that we've set out there for them. And this is just an opportunity for them to get familiar with us, see the guys who are in the room, and decide who they might approach in a little bit. It's kind of interesting because at every social, I swear to God, it begins just like this. It's like the wall from, I don't even know how to describe this. So it's like a scene out of Braveheart, right? I've got a wall of women over here, a wall of men over here. Everybody's nervous. They're like school children trying to get acquainted with each other at a high school prom. And yet, slowly by slowly, the girls walk by the guys wink and say hi, and then before you know it, people are talking and getting introduced, and then everybody just mingles together. So even in the last 15 minutes, I've seen this beautiful blend of people going from one side of the room to the other, just trying to get introduced. Everybody's nervous. The men look great. The women are absolutely stunning and beautiful. You'll see what I mean in just a minute here. This is going to be an exciting social, and I always just love the first 30 minutes of our social. It's kind of fun to see the people who are going to meet tonight. You never know what might come of that, right? I'm going to work the room for you and show you the social in progress from a couple of different angles, so we'll check back with you in just a little bit. All right, so I'm standing outside of the venue for our social in Lugansk, Ukraine, which is just underway. It's Sunday, it's May 26th. It is about 5:45 in the evening, right? So not even 6 o'clock yet, which is just spectacular. So it's early on Sunday. We have about 100 women that are in the room right now, and there will probably be another 100 or so that show up tonight to meet the 20 or so guys that we have inside. So we're just in a little lobby, if you will, and through those doors come the women after they register and get some name tags, and then they enter the doors right behind me, which are probably going to swing open any time because the ladies come out here sometimes just to catch a breath of fresh air. But I just wanted to get away from the music in the background and the noise to kind of set this up a little bit for you. You know, we have heard for months that the quality of women in Lugansk, their attraction, their education, their style, their fashion is just amazing. It's just beyond words. It's incredible. And actually, I've had several guys already, not even an hour into the social, comment that they've been to a number of socials in a number of cities, and there are always beautiful women everywhere we go, but an incredibly high number of high-quality ladies, right? In Lugansk, which is why we come so far to Lugansk. So we started this journey in Odessa. We went to Nikolaev. We had a long 5-hour ride through the countryside to Mariupol. We then went from Mariupol to Lugansk, right? We've been in town now for approximately 2 hours, and so far looks like one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. So I'll just step aside. I love being on camera because the women are never really sure what to do, but they just kind of tiptoe around. They're very considerate, of course, and they don't want to get in the way, but they also find it amusing that guys come here and actually set up cameras and videotape the social, and they feel there's a bit of a spotlight on them, and they like the attention that we're giving them, and it's really cool. So in just a little bit, I'll make an opening announcement welcoming the ladies, thanking them for coming down to our social. We'll talk about our MC and the games that we'll play and some of the fun activities that we're going to have, so that ladies can enjoy themselves tonight. We've got all kinds of champagne and wonderful appetizers and hors d'oeuvres and that sort of thing. You know, we always have some sort of refreshments for the women. We're not eating a full course meal because that's not exactly conducive to getting to know each other, but we're definitely providing a very nice night out with the appropriate refreshments for ladies. And so as they're mingling and getting some champagne and having a little something to eat and getting introduced to each other, the social is well underway. We'll go inside and take a look at the social from another angle. I'll be back. Oh, I have such a tough job, you know. I don't know how I survive these long, hard days of toil for no glory, and no, I'm just kidding. This is a great job, actually, guys. What a great time. So there's a great party going on that side of the room. I just took a moment because I wanted to show you what it looks like over here on this side of the room. Guys ask me all the time, how do they get introduced to women at the social? You know, it's as easy as getting a bottle of champagne and going to a table like the one right behind me. So these are ladies that are just sitting and having a little champagne. You go over and you ask them if they would like more champagne. And, you know, the glasses are typically about half filled when they first get them, so they drink their champagne quickly. You pour an extra glass or two for them. I tell guys all the time, if you're a little bit shy, you might get lucky and make it to 2 tables, and the ladies will invite you to sit down. It's a great way to get introduced. It's very, very simple. And look at the reward, guys, right? I mean, I can't even get out of the way of these incredibly beautiful women behind me. This is just one table of about 50 that are in this room right now with women sitting at them. So how cool is that, right? Again, I'm going to pan around the room a little bit and just kind of show you what the social looks like, all right? All right, so I literally just turned the camera around. This is the other side of what you were just looking at. So again, on that side of the room, these lovely red tables and booths where ladies are sitting. Right now, I've got about 20 ladies that are sitting there, and nobody's talking to them. Most of the guys are over here. Okay, so behind me, you see a little bit of a crowd that's developed over on this side, right? You've got different groups of 4 or 5 ladies talking to one guy. We got the table in the middle so people can get their champagne and whatever it is that they want to eat, right? Music is playing. It's going to go up in about an hour. We'll have a little bit of dancing, and it should be just an evening of fun. But this is literally how it works, guys. I mean, it's not rocket science. We find a friendly venue like this club. We rent it exclusively for about 4 hours. We invite a lot of very beautiful women to come. We do that through our affiliate partners and our office staff, and we get the guys to put on their best and to come down and meet these beautiful women. As simple as that. So you're in the room, just a matter of time before you're bumping into people and saying hello, and it could not be easier. So here we are with beautiful women trickling in. Still, we're going to be getting them for another hour or so. They'll be stopping in, and then a little champagne, a little dancing, and a lot of good times. So it's pretty simple, right? I'll show you how some of our guys are doing. All right, so if you look over my left shoulder to your right, here's a gentleman in a black suit with a red shirt. His name is Joe. He's from Arizona. He's one of my really good friends. He's a great guy, and he's getting himself introduced to a very nice lady. He actually met one of the members of the staff, and he's just getting to know both the staff and this. He's got a couple of very beautiful women there. Actually, I'll just move out of the way so you can see how he's doing. So Joe is an amazing story, actually. I'm going to get a testimonial from Joe later on in this tour. This is his second visit to Ukraine after coming to one of our seminars in Phoenix. He's a doctor in the area. He's a remarkable guy. We had him in Odessa in November, and he gave us a little bit of a testimonial back then. That was nice, right? And obviously, he's meeting some very, very lovely women. He came here to do so, and Joe is just one of the gentlemen that we bring, and the ladies have told us that we have a reputation for bringing the best guys to Ukraine, and I absolutely have no doubt that is true. Joe, my good friend from Arizona, is definitely one of them. So he's met 2 blondes. He told me at the beginning of the tour he was just focused on meeting 2 lovely blonde women and wanted to come back from Ukraine feeling like he had a couple of friends that might develop into something more, and we'll see where that goes. So Joe's getting acquainted. Let's see how some others are doing. So the club is called Egoist, and again, we're in Lugansk, Ukraine. We're about 30 kilometers from the Russian border in the northeastern part of Ukraine, which is about the size of Texas. You know, people have barely heard of Ukraine in America, I suppose, which is really unfortunate. It's a great place to go for a visit, but if they've heard of Ukraine, they probably have not heard of Lugansk, which is just, it's a mining town. I mean, it's a city. There are probably about 400,000 people here, but people have told us that for many months, you got to check out Lugansk. We've been going to Ukraine for almost 20 years, and somehow we've missed this little northeastern corner of the country. And I can now see what we've definitely been missing, because this room is just filled with beautiful women. I mean, you're going to see the videos and the photos, and definitely check out our photos under the recent tour photos section, guys, just to see what I'm talking about. All right, so if you can see what's going on behind me here. Again, just a few more tables of women sitting, and they sit together, they sit in groups of 4 or 5, and they talk to each other. And around the room you'll occasionally see 1 or 2 sitting by themselves, but for the most part they're sitting down and they're just chatting, having a little champagne, and waiting for the guys to work up enough courage to come over and say hi. So if you were standing right where I'm standing right now in this exact situation, I'd hope you'd turn around and go over and say, hi, may I introduce myself, or may I come over and say hello? And if you're shy, you grab one of our interpreters. Although, here's the problem. The interpreters are also incredibly beautiful young women. So many times the guys will go to talk to an interpreter to solicit her for some help, and it takes them a while to actually get where they were going, because they're engaging the interpreters. They're lovely and easy to talk to and very conversational. So anyway, you get your interpreter, you come over to the table and you say, hi, my name is Bud, I'm from Chicago, I just wanted to say hello. And the girls say, great, sit down. Easy as that. Very approachable, very friendly, no cold shoulders, cold stares, no looks of disinterest. The women are very, very engaging, and they'll be more than happy to have you come and sit down and talk to them. And they'll ask you small chit-chat questions, what do you think of Lugansk, how do you like Ukraine, all that sort of stuff. And then they'll start flirting, and it gets kind of giggly and fun and flirtatious and crazy. And after a while, people are dancing and they've had a little champagne, so they're a little bit more relaxed, and it's just fun. And again, we're just barely underway here. We're not even at the end of our first hour of the social on a Sunday evening. More and more women are coming through the door. We'll go around and show you what that looks like in just a moment.